Hello, today we'll be modelling this low poly hand using some reference images that will be linked down below. The reference images, these are the rotation, location and scales that I have set up for both of them. If you copy them as well, you should have the same result. To start off, we're going to set our gimbal into its local view, and then we are going to spawn a cylinder and set its sides to 8. Rotating this into position on the y-axis, we'll move into position and go into edge mode and then begin to position it, adjusting its scale and rotation for the basics. Tapping over into, when we tab over into edit mode, we'll add a couple edge loops and then continue to adjust this using these as positions where our knuckles will later be located. Push the tip back a bit, add another edge loop here, and fan out the back end. Right now we're just going to try and align it on this view, and we'll make the final adjustments on the top view, as each finger will need slightly more adjustments done to it. Scaling in the fingers to ensure the proper fit. Tab over to edge mode. We're going to bevel out this part here to give ourselves a better fingertip shape. Once that's done, we'll begin to adjust the vertex positions more, just so that that tip actually fits into our hand properly. Sliding our pieces along, rotating and scaling them as necessary. Some of these vertexes may need to be moved individually. Others will need the entire section slid along. Now that we have them in position, we're going to square up the cap so we don't have an end-gon sitting there. Just makes that nice and clean, and we're going to delete the back face, as that will not be necessary. Going to the top view, again, we'll rotate it into position. Once that's in position, we will top over back over to edit mode, select the edges, start scaling them in, locking it onto the Y. Since we're in local view, with our gimbal set to local, we'll be able to adjust these easily without needing to deform the mesh too badly. Making sure that we're not too close when we scale, as the scale references determine how close you are will affect it. Scaling this out so that it fits the finger shape, making some adjustments. Sliding a few. Right. Now that we have the basic finger, we're going to quickly go in and select the 4 faces around the front here. We're going to inset with I, scale it in, and double tap G to slide this here, which is going to form our nail, which we can use later on if we have the need for a nail, or if we don't, we can simply remove these easy faces. We're going to duplicate and rotate. Once that is in position, make sure that scale's set right. Drag it back a bit to add that extra length. Repeat the process for the next finger. Scale it in, adjust, rotate, and duplicate once more for the final finger. This one will have the biggest difference across them all. Scale, position. Last one for the duplication. This one here we're going to need to rotate on the X 90 degrees. It's going to become our thumb. Do some rotation, some moving. Tap over to edit mode and remove those back faces just by removing those vertexes. Scale it out a bit. Make sure that we're actually getting a thumb shape. It's a little fatter than our rest of our fingers. Adding an extra edge loop so that we can get that thickness around the center without too much deformation. Going from the front view now. Again, because we're in local view, this rotation becomes far easier, and moving it around without having to make further adjustments too hard. Selecting, scaling. Just trying our best to match our reference images here without too much when they're all done. We will join them together. Now that they're all a single mesh, we can add our wrist. That will just be, yes, again, a cylinder with 8 sides. Rotate it to the side, plug it into position, scale it out, making the adjustments. Only the faceplate, only the face at the ends will be needed for this, so the scale doesn't affect it too badly, since this is going to just be a placeholder for where we need to connect, where we would connect to an arm. We're using 8 a lot on this here because it's an easy number to subdivide and control back down to, so we can go 8, 16, 32, and then also go down from 8 to 4 to 2 if need be. Adjusting these pieces just to where we need them to go, just to give us a nice end shape for our face there. Joining them together. We're now going to start connecting the fingers together by creating the webbing. Selecting the 2 inner edges. And making sure that we bridge, not face, because the face will not generate that little line between them. Repeat this for the next face. Again, select bridge. Now that they're in place, extrude out, scale up. These top vertexes will start to form our knuckles for us. So if we need them to be quite wide out, making sure that we're not going over the limit on our Y, bringing it back in a bit. Checking our reference and extruding out again. We're going to make some adjustments flattening out the bottom, as we don't need a bumpy hand on our palm side. So these will be flattened out, along with the final vertex, the final row of vertexes along the top, flattening them out, letting them knuckles pop up. So our hand has become too flat, we'll bring some of those ones up as well. Just averaging them out, bringing those knuckles in a bit too much because they're a bit too exaggerated. You can keep them out if you prefer. We're now bringing in bringing in the edges on in between the webbing so that we can close these faces off. This will help us reduce the poly count early on in a position that's easy enough to hide. Flattening this out so that it looks natural. And repeating the process on the other side. Select the faces, drag them in. I'm using double tapping G to use the edge slide with Blender. There are similar tools available in Maya and other modeling softwares as well that can do the same thing. Now we have the basis of the finger. We'll select the 2 edges and the underside of our finger, and we will connect them together with a bridge. I'm just going to face them up on this one here. It looks bad right now, but we're going to add an edge loop, make some adjustments so that this finger actually has the proper webbing. Now this will be moving vertexes around to give them the proper spacing, to make that thumb look correct. It's a lot of looking from a lot of angles with organic shapes. Your inorganic metallic stuff will be easier to look at from 2 sides. Eventually we will have to hide these reference images to start getting the things that we need in the positions we need them to. As you can see, I've already done that now. We're dragging in some edges here, extruding them out, and we're creating another loop. Make sure the right one's connected. So those 2 faces we just extruded out there, we've now merged their vertexes with the thumb, so that we've got that nice loop around the top of the thumb, which keeps it contained and also reduces our poly count. Some more adjustment of the vertexes around. That's starting to give us the base shape of our hand. From this point on, we just need the palm. So we're going to connect our thumb to our wrist just so we can get a rough idea of the shape of what we need and what needs to be on the top and what part needs to be on the bottom. Again, on the other side. Right now we're going to focus on the top because the bottom will be mirrored underneath of exactly the same things that we do, with very few differences. Here we're going to select these top edges, extrude them out, merge that one across, add an edge loop into that edge, into that line we created, drag it across with G and then fill in that hole, just to start dragging some of those faces back and make sure that the thumbs pieces are fully looped in. Repeating this with one more extrusion down. Again, merging it over into the thumb. Making sure that, as you can see here, I've adjusted it so that it's gone down too low, so we're going to have to pick those faces up. Flatten them out a bit more, using the edge slide tool to ensure that everything's in the right spot. Another edge loop there, slide it across and fill in the hole. Using that line that we've created to see that our hand is starting to bow out too much. So again, using edge slide to drag it in, just to help round out that hand of ours. At this point here, you should be using your own hand a lot as reference, just to get the ideal shape of curviness of your own hands. Right, on the top here, we're going to take one from the side, out from the middle on each side, and we're going to face that over to the end, and we're going to cut in this pattern here so that we can reduce the poly count right down to these 4 becoming the 2. These type of cuts are very useful to learn, so remove those triangle pieces, delete the faces out, merge those vertexes into the center, and then we're just capable of bridging across. Bridging, not facing, because we will need that edge there. That will be the top side of our face, where we'll need to put an edge loop into it to ensure that we can wrap up that thumb without too much trouble. Clean up this side first, rather have it all done on one side and then move on. Looking at the underside now. While what we've done is fresh in our mind, we're going to repeat it using the top half of the hand as reference to what pieces we'll be selecting. These 4 coming down this to here, and then face across once more. Now these pieces, as you can see, are rather flat, not going in the shape of a hand, so from the side view, start adjusting these edges while we can, while they're still in an easy position to adjust without too much destructive modeling. Finish those adjustments into the right place. Repeat the process with the other one, getting our pieces into the right position. This will all just come down to your own personal preference when it comes to how you want your hands to look. Right now I'm keeping it bowed out because if I want, I can then take this into a sculpting program or use Blender's built-in sculpting software to adjust the hands as needed. We're going to once again put this same cut into the hand, giving us those 2 triangle pieces that we are now going to remove out of the way. Merge those vertexes in. And now this here is just fill in these faces how you choose. I'll adjust mine in a bit just so that the quads stay relatively the same size. Just face across on the sides. This will just give me a seam line that I can use, subdivide them. There are easier ways that I could have done this, but I'm just doing it this way, and then just face. Again, select 2, double F, to fill in those faces. That gives me the basis of the hand, which now we can just adjust now that we can see the whole picture. Adjust to give us the palm, and also leaving some room so some of that bowed out to act as the thumb. That connects into how the thumb is generated. That gives us the underside of our hand. Again, these will, from this point on, it's going to be a lot of minor tweaking just to get things looking how we want them to look. Some edge sliding here and there. Putting a face in there, ensuring that that loop is solid. Yep, so there's no continuous looping there. Same on the top side, goes around. Needs a connection there, which we can fill in. Fill in the others as well while we're here. And then finish that off, so that now forms our second completed loop. Face it there. Right here we're going to add an edge cut, face that off, repeat on the other side just to drag that up more, and we're once again going to repeat the same process that we used earlier, selecting those edges there, facing, again on the other side, and then adding the same cut that we've done 3 times now, just to reduce our poly count down, make sure that we connect to 8. So when we do a wrist or anything like that, if we keep it at 8 as well, we'll easily be able to attach these 2 pieces. Remove the faces, merge the verts, adjustment, then just face. This one didn't want to face up properly, so I'm selecting all of them. And from that, remove that extra edge that we've got there. Fill in the last gap. Remove that end gap. Make sure to delete face, not vertexes. Now we're just going to be doing some minor adjustments here and there to get the hand looking how we want. As you can see, we've got some weird bowing in places. As these get adjusted and smoothed out more with edge slide and just having to eyeball it up. This is the human hand after all. It's one of those things that can look infinitely different depending on the person whose hand it is. Making some last minute adjustments here just to give us some clean edge flow and topology. Yep, checking our edge flows here, making sure that nothing is a spiral that's going to continue indefinitely. And now that all those have been checked and done up, we are just going to go in here and grab our last minute checks here. Some hand part not looking good. Give that a smooth look. But that's fine as a hand as it is for that. But if we want this to be riggable, we're going to need to go into our fingers here. Go into our fingers, go into edge mode. Select these loops on all our fingers where our bends should be. Make sure to grab the thumb as well, the right one on the thumb. And give that a bevel. Just a slight amount. Making sure that it is set to 3 so that we have that loop in the middle there, and they will add the proper deformation that we need for the hand, and that will give us our fully rendered hand. That's what it looks like with our full topology done, and next we'll be able to rig this up.